Welcome to Chanakya classes. The dictation is start now. Question of equity apart, the mode and scale of subsidizing has had two effects full stop. One has been to induce a faster rate of growth of enrollments at this level than the otherwise likely to have taken place full stop. In several parts of the country, the fees charged for higher education have remained unchanged for decades and the rising costs have been almost wholly covered by the subsidies from government full stop. Higher education has therefore become almost free for those who are in a position to meet the other related expenses full stop para change. The other effect has been to encourage in this sphere, particularly in the last decade, a kind of entrepreneurship with little commitment to the goal of higher education full stop, where the rate of subsidy is high and the rest of the expenditure can be almost wholly covered by the fees collected from students. A college can be stated and run with very little exertion on the part of the sponsors full stop. In Delhi, 95% of the excess expenditure of a college on all approved items over its income from fee is met by the university's grant commission full stop. The sponsoring body, whether it is a private agency or a local authority, needs therefore to cover only a very small fraction of the total expenditure on running a college full stop. Naturally, there is no dearth of expenditure for colleges with an eye on the patronage and influence they can exercise through their control over them full stop para change. Though the extent of subsidy is not as high elsewhere, the position is not very different in several other parts of the country where liberal grants in aid are given by the state governments to colleges full stop. The main qualification required of the promoters of highly educated under these conditions is only those they can contact for securing the necessary financial and other support from the powers that be full stop para change. Where the rate of subsidy is not so high, some adjustments are called for full stop. These are usually made in the fees charged from students and in the teacher-students ratio maintained full stop. Thus, the annual fee for undergraduate education ranges all the way from less than ₹100 per student, the colleges in Rajasthan, to well over ₹300 per student in Bombay full stop. The average number of students assigned to a teacher also varies from as low as 12 in some areas to more than twice that figure in others full stop. This subsidy has to be discontinued full stop para change. All this has usually a decisive impact at the higher levels of decision making and administration in the university full stop. For both the representative of the college managements and of teachers secure representation in the various bodies of the universities of which they form a part. Full stop. Changes in the structure and content of courses and therefore usually resulted if they call for more appointments at the college level than the managements are prepared to make, or if much more efforts is required on the part of the existing staff full stop. If any teaching is organized at the university level, as in generally done for postgraduate courses, the principle of representation has to be usually given considerable weight irrespective of academic consideration full stop. The various section interests involved has to be taken into account also when examiners are appointed by universities and sometimes even when the results of the examinations are declared full stop para change. Universities as organized now are in fact highly vulnerable to pressures of various kinds full stop. The representation given to colleges, the system of elections to the more important decision making bodies and direct dependence on government grants are all potential instruments for gaining influence and exertion pressure within universities full stop. It is not surprising, therefore, that when teachers and students are also free to participate in political activities, universities get affected very quickly by all the undercurrents and conflicts in the society of which they are a part full stop. One of the major problems now is that while political forces are able to gain entry very easily, the university do not have the means for effective coping with them for stop para change. Under these conditions, growth in size beyond a point became a particularly serious handicap full stop. Not only there few economics of scale to be gained by such expansion, but this economy's set is through their greater vulnerability to pressure from outside and from within. Full stop. This has become a major problem for many Indian universities. Full stop. The growing tendencies towards religionship in the country have also had serious effect on higher education. Full stop. These tendencies are generally expressed in demands relating to the medium of instrument. Full stop. Some of these demands are based on sound education principles and be wholly justifiable, but in their most extreme form they usually indicate either ignorance of the minimum requirements from they usually direct higher education or inward-looking conduct of a kind that place considerations of a selfish character above these requirements. Full stop. In practice, both have been in evidence. Full stop. More specifically, the problem arises when instrument at the postgraduate level is sought to be given in the religion languages. Full stop. For most of the relevant literature at that level is usually not available. Full stop. Para change. I certainly do not wish that classified items are to be made available. Full stop. They are certainly the prerogative of the administration to keep. Full stop. But they should give us, at least in general terms, what we are expected to know. Full stop. Nearly 55% of the last 2 years defense budget was spent on